UMF Manuka honey for export forms the majority of the business for the Happy Valley division of Melita Group. Happy Valley also sells a range of bee products such as wild bush honey, bee venom, royal jelly, propolis and pollen, mainly to the domestic market.
Melita Group is a combination of a beekeeping operation and the brand ownership, which is the Happy Valley side of it. And so we've put together 7 companies and formed a group. On the brand side, the history goes back to 1975 when the then owner of the business introduced people to his farm and they came and filled up their jars of honey. From there he created a number of products that we see in our store today. Subsequent to that merger, we purchased some land, so we now have that land to brand claim that we can put on our marketing material. If you don't have supply, then you really don't have any concrete sort of base for your business, and therefore with your branding you also can be true to the branding and say that honey is procured from your own hives. I think if we only had a brand then we'd just be another Me Too, but now we have substance to our business and that's allowed us to move forward and has created a lot of opportunity in new markets that we're now pursuing. To grow the business, we do need to get land access, and a lot of that's done via agreements these days, and that's profit share with those landowners. The market's still fragmented, and so there is still a lot of opportunity to buy from third-party beekeepers, and those particularly ones that are small that probably find it hard to sell their honey to the large players. So that allows us to either extract their honey, buy it, and then allow us to have access to that honey to trade. Without Manuka, the industry wouldn't survive. It would struggle to continue in the international market as it was, and it would have just been very much a New Zealand market requirement, and so Manuka is essential for the growth and a lot of other products that go with it.
I've got the results back for it. So that's batch 2014. So this is, it's coming up pretty high.
It's nice honey though. Was that from our own hives, obviously?
Yeah, so that's, well, we can go down to the source of it. With a lot of our products, we're selling it for food and consumption. So on pack, you can't make a lot of claims unless it's content related. So on pack, we make content claims, and when we have people use our products, they're the ambassadors for the products and how great they are. Our key range is our UMF Manuka range, but we also have tasting honeys. In that sits a tasting Manuka, which is about the flavour. So some of those honeys are unique to New Zealand, like your Rira Rira and your Tarderi. And then we also go into our health and wellbeing range, where we take byproducts from the hive and use them in products for human health and wellbeing. So that's your bee pollen, your propolis, bee venom, and fresh royal jelly from the hive. There's a lot going on in the industry in regards to Manuka. 5 years ago, we were in a very, very different space to where we are now. And a lot of that has been driven by regulators and competing against other countries in regards to what they have as well. But there's 2 parts to that. Firstly, it was really identifying so we could say to the consumer, we know what is Manuka honey and we can test for it. The next part of it, and what we're really moving into from a New Zealand industry point of view, is protecting the word Manuka for use of New Zealand and New Zealand Inc. really. It's for our people and our country. So that's probably the key part moving forward. It's ensuring that New Zealand Manuka on the world stage is protected and that it is got something unique about it compared to other honeys that may have similar properties or be from similar species. So that's probably the biggest future direction for Manuka, is how we protect that for New Zealand Inc. So testing in regards to Manuka honey, it's really changed in the last 4 years. You know, previously you'd test 1 or 2 elements. Now we have up to 10 tests that we're doing on our honey, and we do that in the drum. We do it when we're mixing it into our vats, and then we test it again at a final product, what sits on shelf and what goes to the consumer. So the honey is getting tested all through the value chain and up to about 10 different parameters or chemical compounds. You've got different ways of defining Manuka. We've got the UMF Society, for example. We test about 4 to 5 parameters, 4 of which are quality measures. And then other measures is sort of defining the chemical compound that is unique to New Zealand Manuka. And then we've also got MPI's testing, which is really, really new in the industry, and that was brought about in regards to try and protect from international borders in regards to what is in that jar is Manuka, not a Manuka blend, not Carnuka. And so that's still evolving, and it's just hit the market as of February 2018. There's emerging technologies as well. There's some great technology coming out of the UK in regards to NMR technology. There's fluorescence testing. So with anything, and I've always been told science is always evolving, so it will continue that way in regards to more unique chemical compounds we found, and we'll get better and better at testing for Manuka honey. Definitely people trying to cash in. We've called it for many years the Manuka gold rush, where people believe there is money to be made. They try to jump on in. So it's all through the industry, but not just here in New Zealand. I guess probably where it most impacts us is food fraud internationally. So that's where people are seeing Manuka on the shelves, say in Europe, but what's in that jar is not necessarily 100% Manuka honey from New Zealand. And that's the biggest sort of issue of how people are maybe, what I would say, mixing New Zealand Manuka honey with other honeys to make a claim that it's 100% wholly New Zealand Manuka honey. The biggest thing that I think that's happening outside of what the governments are doing and regulations is the fact that we've gone for a trademark certification for the word Manuka. And that's to try and protect the word Manuka just the same way champagne is for the French region champagne. And that will mean that it can't be called Manuka unless it's from New Zealand, and that will hopefully bring back the value chain into New Zealand for New Zealand companies, and also beyond that, Maridom. So the word Manuka is intrinsically from Māori. So that's really important that we protect that long term, not just for the value of the honey, but for New Zealand. Yeah.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.